times. Are you guys on that one part? Yeah. Yeah. Can't. I will.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You know, it's the Matrix. You are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. We got a late one tonight. This is the last night of me not being on schedule. Me and Alex will be doing a live stream tomorrow. I think it's just going to be on TikTok. I think he has something going on where he can just do it from his phone. But that's all good. So let's get into it. As of the time of recording, the markets have woken up and Twitter is back to being bullish. TikTok's back to being bullish. All is forgotten because why? Nothing quite like price changes sentiment. When prices go up, it's awesome. Sentiment is great. When prices go down, sentiment sucks. Until next time. Can't wait for the bears to come back out the next time we fall asleep. Or the next time we fall back down. But what we've gotten, we talked about this, and I said 118 by this week is what I predicted. So we're at 117. We got to 117.6. Potato. Well, we might get it tomorrow. We might get it Saturday. But for all intents and purposes, that has done exactly what I thought. This is a bull flag, ABC correction, higher low, and now it's going to put in a higher high, and we'll see if we get a higher low again. Ultimately, what I anticipate is for Bitcoin to just chop and continue to waddle its way in between 123 and 112,000. That is what I anticipate. XRP has woken up pretty violently. Same thing. Big ABC correction. Breakout of the bull flag. We haven't got to the top of it yet, so you can't really count it as a breakout. But we have gotten above the B leg. So this is a macro higher high for XRP. So we had a higher high and a higher low. So this, you could classify this as a pretty clean breakout. Cross to the upside on the RSI. Let's see how much gas it has. Just now getting across to the upside and neutral on the daily. So that looks pretty good for XRP. Ultimately, kind of the same thing. I am pretty neutral for Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. What I am bullish on for August, and you guys did not believe me. You tried to twist my words. You tried to twist my arms. Because you silly willies didn't know that I was bullish on others and not on Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin already hit my macro target, 118,000. That was my first macro target. So I'm not going to pretend like, well, now that we're here, so we need to keep being bullish forever. Because we're here. So I'm going to move the goalposts and keep being bullish. Keep moving the goalposts. Nope, not doing it. Sorry. Sorry about you, bud. Sorry about you there, bud. All right, I'm not doing it. What are we at on the 5 hour? Pretty neutral, mediumly hot. On the daily, we've gotten across the upside for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. We're back at 3,800, almost to 4,000. Actually, this is a high. This is a yearly high for Bitcoin. Or not Bitcoin, excuse me, for Ethereum. Okay, so it didn't technically wick higher, but we can see this is the highest body close that we've had for Ethereum this year, I believe. No. Yes. No. Maybe. Perhaps. Yes. The year of 2025. This is the highest body close that Ethereum has gotten. So again, what are we talking about? We've talked about this rotation of capital that has been taking place. This is it. All right. Take a picture. Take a screenshot. This is the 10 Commandments. This is the gospel. Okay. And we're not talking about the gospel of Barnabas here. We're talking about the gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay. This is the gospel. We make things complicated when they don't need to be. So we're somewhere in here, in my opinion. And from fiat to Bitcoin is the longest portion of the roller coaster ride, right? It is the longest portion of the roller coaster ride, just like when we go on a roller coaster ride and we go up the hill. That's the longest part of the ride. Same thing. Fiat into Bitcoin is the longest part of the ride. Then you get over the top here. You start going into Ethereum XRP. You start going into your large caps. You start going into the mid caps. Put your hands up, everybody. Do a loop-de-loop and pull. Right? The further on the cycle you go, the faster it goes. But we've already cleared the biggest hurdle. We've already gotten over the hump. Now it's just about the rotation of capital. Okay? Thank you for the 149 donation, brother. I appreciate you. A red box of popcorn. Do you think there will be a flip XRP over ETH? Do you think there will be a flip XRP or ETH putting Bitcoin in the corner? I don't know. I used to think that Bitcoin would get flipped. Are you asking me, is Bitcoin going to get flipped? Is that what you're asking me? My boy Ski, I'm going to come back to you. I want some clarifications on your questions. What's good? I'm number 1 on YouTube and TikTok. Let's go. Feeling a 10, Ski. My boy Ski, what's up? I'm about a 6 today. Nightcap. My plan is to buy VeChain until 4 cents, selling everything 13. Think that's a good idea. I think that's plausible. I wouldn't sell everything, but I think taking a good de-risk at that level is wise. I'm neutral number regardless of price action. I had 2 minted lamb piece for dinner. Nice. Is this the August pump before we go back? The start of it looks like. I'm not going to I was not freaking out when we were pulling back, and I'm not going to be sounding the alarm as we're pumping today either. I'm pretty slow moving neutral. ETH will go much higher than Bitcoin did. Yes, ETH will go much higher than Bitcoin did. Okay, if you're asking me, is Ethereum going to go into price discovery? I think yes, it will. If you're asking me, is Ethereum going to flip Bitcoin as far as market cap? No. Bitcoin has already won. Okay, let's read some of the TikTok comments. Ski, I'm half asleep. I appreciate the support, brother. What up's on the community? Boring until it's not. That's right. Bitcoin usually goes up in August. ETH thoughts? Let's go. What's up, Dan? Here on YouTube and TikTok to help engagement levels. I appreciate you, brother. Do you think the bottom is in? Until when? Is Cardano big enough that you see it going sideways? No, I think Cardano is going to catch up to Ethereum. So basically, we could oversimplify Ethereum right now and say that it's at the retracement. Oh, man. I feel a sneeze coming on. I feel it. Now, whether you want to say it's at the 618 or the 702, it doesn't really matter. But just for oversimplification, just to keep everybody on the same page, we can say that Ethereum is at the retracement, right? Okay, we don't need to make it super complicated. It's at the 702 technically, just above it. ADA is still below the 236. I don't know why this was off. It's still below the 236. So structurally, and I'm on market cap too. Structurally, for ADA to catch up to, and this is going to be part of the reasons that, like, even though technically ADA is not in others, this is basically all of others right here, right? So ADA, excuse me, is below the 236. The 236 is what I consider to be extreme value. This is where Ethereum is at, right here. This is where Bitcoin is at. Okay. Now, I think the next phase, Ethereum catches up to Bitcoin right now. Right? And I think that others or altcoins outside of XRP and Ethereum, BNB, I would classify because BNB is up there too. Outside of like those three, I think the altcoins are going to catch up to where Ethereum is right now, which is basically the 702. Okay, you could call it the 618, the 702, whatever. Somewhere in this range, most altcoins are going to catch up to Ethereum in the next part, in my opinion. And that's what I'm predicting for others as well. So when we look at, like Ethereum is at the 702, I think no one asked me about, you know, the crazy thing is literally no one asked me about BNB ever. It's the, what coin is it? I think it's the fourth largest coin. Literally no one asked me about it ever. Someone asked me about it the other day, and that was the first time that anyone's asked me about it in like 2 years. It's kind of crazy. It doesn't even make, what is going on? What's crazy is my internet quit working. All right. What market cap is BNB? Yeah, BNB is number 5. Counting Tether. So all these, so Ethereum, XRP, BNB, even Solana, those are all structurally in the same spot, basically. They're at the 702 or even above. Like XRP is above. Ethereum, right? BNB is even above. So there you go. Basically, what I'm predicting is the next part of the game, we've seen the large, you could call that the large caps, BNB, XRP, Ethereum. They're all basically at the 702. They're all basically here, plus or minus. They're at the 702, right? We can see it's technically near a double top, but they're all basically right there. BNB is right there, Ethereum's right there, XRP is right there, plus or minus, right? Now, what we don't see is most of the altcoins below that top 10 or that top 5 threshold are not near that. And that's what I think is going to happen next, is they're going to catch up. You know, we could go on down the list here. So I think that Dogecoin is going to catch up. I think that ADA is going to catch up. I think that Stellar is going to catch up. I think Chainlink is going to catch up. You know, AVAX. I think that's the next part of the game. Uniswap. All these coins are going to catch up. Kronos, Aave, right? Like all these coins, in my opinion, the next part of the game are going to catch up to Ethereum, and Ethereum is going to catch up to Bitcoin. That's what is next. Okay, I don't think Bitcoin does that much more. Maybe it goes to the 2618. We're talking about another 20% for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just like, unless you're holding Bitcoin for 20, 30 years, like just forget about Bitcoin right now because we already passed that part of the ride. BNB is mirroring the price action of Bitcoin. Yes. BNB is a good one to track as well. Just to see what it's doing. Because when this goes into price discovery too, which like you could make an argument it's on its way right now. When it gets a full leg higher, that could definitely signal alt season for sure. Right? And it's been like flirting with this. Like we can see all this time here, just grueling, trying to break above the previous all-time high. Again, like you have to look at this stuff with you have to look at it with my God, my brain just lost the word. Whatever. I don't know what I was going to say. Not deception. What is the word I'm looking for? It was in my mouth and then it left. It has left the building. Anyways, basically this was the all-time high. Did we break above the all-time high here? Yes, we did, but not really. Right? This is just slightly above it. Basically all this right here is just trying to get above this. This is now firmly above it for BNB. That's firmly above it. All right. On price, it's just slightly. It didn't even make a double. This is just a double top is all that was. But market cap, slight all-time high. But really, we had a lot of trading at the previous all-time high back in 2021. And now we're going into price discovery. What's your target for VeChain, CAS, and Flux? VeChain is 15 cents, 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. CAS is 15 cents, 40 cents, 66 cents. Flux is $3, $5, $13, $20. Blinders on. What's the percentage chance you think Uniswap will get to $30? Very high. I think that's very probable. My base case is $20, so it's 20, 40, 80, 20, 40, 100, excuse me. So that's in between my bear case and my medium case, so I think pretty probable. Discretion, my God. Discretion was the word I was looking for. I don't know, it just left my brain. Discretion. You have to use discretion. Right? You don't want to be so black and white about everything. $88, please. 2468. 110, let's go. What number should we buy at? Buy what? Bitcoin? Again, like if you're holding for 5+ years, I think it's fine to always buy Bitcoin. If you're saving your money in Bitcoin, it's always fine to buy Bitcoin. If you're buying Bitcoin for the purpose of a 12, 18-month investment, Bitcoin is not the play right now. That is my personal opinion. Sell all crypto. You mean buy dollars? You mean buy dollars? Is that what you're saying? You want to buy dollars? Go ahead, buy dollars. Go ahead and buy dollars, brother. Price prediction for H-bar, 60 cents. 88 cents, $1.20. Keeps lagging behind everything. Everything's lagging behind everything. Doesn't that BNB chart look like distribution? No. Not yet. Flux. Discretion. Yes, discretion was the word. My brain left the building temporarily, but it's back. Spam the like button. 120 by tomorrow. That's plausible. Will XRP drop soon? Whoever said sell crypto's down bad. Down tremendous. When you say sell crypto, what you mean is buy dollars. I need you to think about it like that. Sell crypto What you're saying is buy dollars. It's not as sexy when you say it like that. It doesn't sound like such a good idea when you put it like that. Now, I always advocate for taking profits. When you have life-changing money, take life-changing money. But just spatting out sell crypto. What you're saying is buy dollars. It doesn't sound as smart when you say it like that. I'm going to buy dollars. Okay. Price targets 5, 10, 20 cents. If everyone's talking about it, you know it's going down, just being real. Who's talking about it? Who's talking about it? Let's see. I agree. I agree with you. But who's talking about it? Like, who amongst your peers? Who in your real life friend group is talking about crypto? Coinbase app ranking right now, the number one app in the United States is number 300. It's not even in the top 200. Let's look at the past 5 years. Not even a retrace. Not even a retrace. We're at 40. This is going to make an all-time high. That's what's going to happen. Do you think Sol at 181 is a mistake? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? You sell... Yes, sell crypto if you're in profit. He's basing it on the crypto groups he's in. Yeah, from the alpha. I know it. I've gotten alpha from another man. Another man has bestowed upon me his alpha. I'm so lucky and blessed. Bro, keep your alpha to yourself. Get your alpha away from me. Don't you touch me with your alpha. Win ski. Solana targets 420, 510, 600. I'm down 20% overall point in this cycle. Is that considered a good position for now? Start. Don't go cheating on ski now. Big mistake. Good content. Thank you, Ray. This is a long cycle for alt ski. I agree. Listen, I was on a call earlier today, and one thing that we talked about was like, this has been a tricky cycle. In a lot of ways, it's been super predictable. Very, very predictable. And in some ways, it's been very tricky. For the altcoins, it's been very tricky. The timing specifically has been very tricky. And I think a lot of it had to do with the Trump meme coins, the Argentina meme coins. And we've talked about this. Like, here's hindsight 2020, what I think happened. In December, November, we were not ready to go parabolic. We were ahead of schedule, in my opinion. We were not ready at that time to go parabolic. We were not ready from a structural standpoint to go into alt season. Not on the 4-year cycle, not on anything. But we kind of like, we willed it into existence. And it wasn't from a structural standpoint that happened. It was from a hype standpoint, right? And we sort of prematurely went into parabolic, we had premature parabolicness. And we weren't ready from a structural standpoint. And then Trump launched the memes. Argentina launched the memes. That rid the Solana ecosystem of $75 billion. Now, what did that do? It's not all bad, right? We went into distribution. We reaccumulated. It rid a lot of nonsense of the market. A lot of stuff died. That's a healthy thing to happen. Now, back here, everyone wanted a 50x, 100x, 300x. Now that we've rid the nonsense, now that we're lagging behind, now that from a structural standpoint, we are more than ready in a much healthier position to actually have a base to launch off of. Now, it's so much more pessimistic. It's so much more cautious from retail of like, people are like, I wanted a 50x and I just want a 3x. Can I just get a 3x ski? I just want to get my money back and then I'm done. That's what pre-euphoria feels like. That's pre-euphoria. That's what that looks like. That's what that feels like. And I'm going to just go back in time and like, let's talk through this because I was here. I remember. Do you understand the C19 correction? Do you understand? Here's what happened. I need y'all to understand. Bitcoin alone went from 3K to 13K. Did a 3X in a matter of 100 days. Everyone during this time was absolutely certain that the bull run was back. I remember what crypto Twitter looked like back in 2019. There was no crypto TikTok back then. Okay? Back in my day, we didn't have crypto TikTok. We had to get on Twitter, and now it's called X. Okay? Everyone was certain that the bull run had started. Going from a 3X, and then like you guys think that this is bad, but imagine doing a 3X, thinking the bull run is here, grueling your way down 52%. Only to think it's done with. We're up 60%, feeling a little bit hopeful. That wasn't so bad, guys. We're almost back to where we were. Boom. The entire world got shut down. 59% correction in 33 days. Fast forward to the point where we were here. It was the same rhetoric. Over here, everyone was talking about 50Xs, 100Xs. When we get through all this, the ripping of the Band-Aids, the back testing, the terrible things, the purging of the nonsense. Now that we get back here, the rhetoric was, I just want a 2X. I just want a 3X. I just want to get my money back, and then I'll be done. And that's what it feels like. Those are the feelings of pre-euphoria. I like taking y'all on this emotional journey of like showing you the data. And what was the real rhetoric? What was crypto Twitter saying back then? I remember. Do we need QE for altcoins? QE is not what you think it is. VeChain to buy, I think so. We have more liquidity, more build-up, alt season going to be insane. I think so. We have a bigger base. What is this saying? The longer the chop, the higher the launch. Because you have a bigger base to launch off of. That's what's happened with altcoins. Altcoins have been in accumulation forever. The longer the chop, the higher the launch. And I think we're in a much healthier place to launch from than what we were back in December. Crypto MySpace. VeChain to buy. I think so. Can you give me a render price target, please? $10, $20, $30. AVAX targets 180, 240, 320. VeChain isn't moving. Should I be worried? Bitcoin didn't move. XRP didn't move for 5 years. XRP, I got to go on the 3-day chart to see all of the XRP not movingness. Look at this. XRP was basically at the same price for 812 3-day candle closes. What is that? 250 days? No, 2,500 days? For 2,500 days, XRP was at the price of basically 45 cents. XRP isn't moving, Ski. Should we be worried? Should we be worried? What is this? Get out of here. Give me your bot. I don't use bots. Thanks for your info, brother. I enjoy your content. Thank you. Price target for VeChain, 15 cents, 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. Can you look at BenQI? This is clearly distribution here. Markdown. You appear to be accumulating again. Retracement is 2 cents. Parabolic is 8 cents. Do you think ETH will go to 4K today or tomorrow? I'm not a today or tomorrow analyst. Do I think ETH will go to 4K? Yes. Ski, did you give ICP price at $5? I think I did. Yeah, ICP is accumulating pretty good here. Do you still like Flux and Rose? I do. I do. Ray, thanks for the roses. Megan, thanks for the heart. Ray, thanks for the rose. Crypto Worldwide, thanks for the rose. Justin, thanks for the rose and the heart. Yes, Savages. Filecoin has way too much inflation. Big T, thanks for the gifts, the TikToks, and the chilies. Can you look at Chainlink? I like Chainlink a lot. 38, 78, 178. Dynex target, please. That's your Polish man. Need to go to sleep. Watch the rest. All right, David, I got you. I need to go to sleep too. Dynex is starting to wake up. It's definitely accumulating at this point. My micro targets are 15 cents. That's the sign of strength. Retracement is 69 cents. That's the highest probability. Parabolic is 333. What up, Ski? What's your thoughts on World Liberty Finance? The orange man drops in a month. I can look at the chart. What is the... Oh, it's not dropped yet. I'm not interested in launches, to be honest. How low will Bitcoin go in the bear market? I have 3 targets depending on how high we go. For argument's sake, let's say it goes to my parabolic target, which is $207,000. My targets would be downside, bear market, 118, where we're at right now, 100, 70, 50. Those are my 4 targets in the bear market. I think the highest probability is 70K. 70 and 100K, I think, are the highest probability where we're going to land. I'm going to be accumulating starting at 100K. I'll be accumulating. HB, thanks for coming a member for 13 months. Yeah, savage, bro. I appreciate you. XCN, I like XCN. 78K, I think that's a good spot for sure. That would be a double bottom of where we went basically in April. That's likely. I will say this, like, here could be another positive, right? I don't want to just be negative. So short term, again, like the orange man dropping the memes, not great for the market. However, long term, we got a lot of support over here now. It's going to be hard to get below 70. Even right here, there's a lot of support now at 100. That's going to be hard to get through all this. There's a lot of trading at 100K. Can we get through it? Yes, we can. But that did not exist without reaccumulating and going higher. So, in all likelihood, this could be our catching point. That's typically what you see. You see, like, back testing the prior all-time high. Ski, because you a Wyckoff expert, if Dogecoin have a strong SOS, stronger SOS than ADA, does that mean Doge is going to run harder when markup? I think they're going to do about the same, to be honest. I'll look at that. Let me check out TRX. I'm going to compare the SOSs of, we'll do that. We'll compare Dogecoin's SOS versus... So this is already in price discovery. I would consider taking profit now, to be honest with you. 50 billion, 80 billion from here. But this is already like price discovery. 87% to $1, 150%. All right, let's check out Doge versus ADA. So he says, Wyckoff expert, sign of strength, higher sign of strength, harder sign of strength for Doge versus ADA. Does that mean... I don't know. They already did a full retrace. When was this? November? I'm going to tell you what I think. ROI wise. I don't know that it really had a higher 3.3x to a 8x for Dogecoin. $6x to a 14x for 88. So I think 88 has slightly more upside potential. The interesting thing too, like now that I'm looking at Dogecoin right now and just thinking about like structurally, well, just sort of like I'm doing this live. I'm thinking through something live right now of the cycle has been very predictable and elusive at the same time, specifically with time. Structurally, I don't think so. This, to me, this is a full-on retracement. So, like, okay, let me articulate my brain, because my brain is moving at 8 cylinders and my mouth is moving at 3. Okay, let me try to bring this in. Let me try to bring you guys in to what's going on up here. Okay, so this is, I'm looking at Dogecoin. We know that Bitcoin has been very predictable. Altcoins have been very lagging and at bear market lows. Now we know in 2021, this was the same thing. Now, what just popped into my head was this right here is a, this is very, very good looking Wyckoff accumulation, sign of strength right here, back test. This is a retracement. That's a full-on retracement. That's what that is. What if November, is it really that simple? Did we get duped again? What if this was just November, was just a retracement? That's all that Bitcoin did. Same thing, by the way. I promise you, back in crypto Twitter, everyone swore the bull market was here. Everyone swore it. We're here. Is this where we're at? Is this the September cuts? I don't think it's going to be this long. I think we're on a condensed timeline. Is it that simple? That was just the retracement? In November? Are we still in the bull market? Yes. We haven't really full on entered it. Maybe we just now full on entered it. Would you mind taking a look at Solana? I'm gonna chew on this for a little bit. But is it really that simple for the altcoins? I'm going to marinate on this one. This is how I come up with my stuff, by the way, guys. I see crazy things come into my brain. They don't belong to me. I'm just its vessel. And then I will look for supporting evidence. I will look for opposing evidence. I will look for patterns. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do for that. And then once I feel strongly enough about it, then I will say what I think it is or it's not. Solana, I like Solana. It already went into price discovery. Like, we have to think in perspective about Solana too. It already did a 43x. You know what I mean? Like, from 2022, it did a 43x. Am I bullish on Solana? Do I think that Solana will be here 20 years from now? Yes. Is Solana the world's best investment right now? I don't think so. Do you think altcoins will round trip? No, I don't. Here's worst case. Let's go back to Dogecoin. Or let's do Bitcoin and Dogecoin like that. Because Dogecoin, in a lot of ways, does lead altcoins. So does BNB. I don't think that we're going to get this violent of a correction. In September. Nor do I think it's going to be that long. But let's call... On the top is Bitcoin from 2021. This is the retracement. Let's just call this is the retracement for Dogecoin in November, right? December. Everyone's asking, are we going to get back to December highs? By the way, that's what they were asking over here. So let's call the C19 correction the violent back test in September. I don't think it's going to be that deep. I don't think it's going to be that long. Well, let's just call it that. Is it going to round trip? No. In all likelihood, it would be the spring to catapult us into real euphoria. From a structural standpoint, that looks to be it. I like Aave. Solana won't go to $8 again. No, I don't think so. I just got in XRP. Is it moon time? Time to moon? Could 702 retracement being VeChain to 11 cents? I think it's 15. I think the 702 is 15. Technically, the macro is 20. Yeah. The 0.5 is 15. The macro 702 is 20 cents. There's not a lot of inflation on VeChain. It's like, it's hard to imagine that that's what's going to take place, but like the supply is not diluted. It's not. Like, look at that. That's the same. FDV 2.11. Market cap 2.09. It is 99% circulating. We're not fighting inflation for VeChain. It's hard to imagine that it's going to get back to those prices. But I think, 15 to 20 cents is very much probable. Ondo just got listed on Robinhood, I saw. What about Sui? I think Sui will 3 to 5x. What's next for Solnic? Solnic quietly has just reaccumulated on top of the prior all-time high. Like, here was the all-time high. Here's the full, story as it was pumping. Here's where I took over. We pumped up to 6 million, but we were really only at 6 million for like an hour. We were really only above 4 million for a couple of days. And that's because the original dev was dumping and we had to go through all that nonsense. Came back, reaccumulated 3 times higher than the previous, more than that. Then we came up and we're much healthier. This is the 3-day. Let's go on the daily so you can kind of see it better. So structurally, all-time high, but not really, as the wick was higher. Reaccumulated higher than the past. Came up to, I think we got just shy of 11 million. And quietly, look at this. What do you see? Like, we're reaccumulating again. Same structure here, same structure here, same structure here. But we're on top of the previous all-time high. Like, on top of it. We are reaccumulating on top of the previous all-time high. That's a great thing. That's a super technical move. A backtest of the prior range. And this is a long accumulation period. What do we know? The longer the chop, the higher the launch. The longer the chop, the higher the launch. This is deep in Wyckoff accumulation, in my opinion. So the next thing is phase D, which is the sign of strength. And then that's about 8 million. And then I think we're going to go into the markup. Rose, 15 cents, 38 cents, 88 cents, XYO, 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents. Thank you for the $2 donation. I need TA on spell. All right. Reminder, guys, there's a sale going on for August. If you want to set up a portfolio review, exit strategy / entry strategy, maybe you got some capital on the sidelines. The next phase is going to be the most euphoric, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down. So whether it's with me or somebody else, I recommend having a plan in place and sticking to your plan. And if you need help setting up a plan, you guys can hit me in the DMs for that. All right, let me check out Spell's inflation before I go any further because that chart is kind of crazy. Any opinions on crypto futures trading? Yeah, I do. I like to futures trade. I think futures is exponentially better than there's a decent bit of inflation on this, but it looks like it's done. I think futures is exponentially better than options. My biggest piece of advice with leverage trading futures is less is more. You don't need crazy amounts of leverage to make crazy amounts of gains. Leverage, liquor, and ladies, 3 things that'll mess up any good man. I'm going to say this is going to retrace 1.3 cents. Yeah, thanks for the hat and mustache. So VeChain won't hit 40 to 60 cents. When did you hear me say that? I didn't say that. I don't think that. I'm telling you the first target is highly probable. The second target, 40 cents, is fairly plausible, probable. The third one is plausible. Thank you for the roses, Gav's dad. Yes, savage. VeChain, 15 cents, 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. Can you show us your fib setting? Yeah. I have full lessons on my... Hold up. All right, TikTok. Why are you so loud? Sheesh. I have a full lesson on Fibonacci's on my in my Telegram. But here you go. The main two that I have that I really pay attention to. So stock, you will not have the 702 checked. You will have the 78 checked. Okay, that's the stock biggest difference. I also have the 0.888. So I check the 702 and I uncheck the 786 because I believe the 702 is much more valuable information than the 786 personally. That's really the only difference I have. I also have the 564. That's more experimental though. That's really it. Those are really the only differences that I have. For presentation purposes, I have the background turned all the way down just because I think it looks neater, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you could do it like this just fine, but I turn it down, the background, just for presentation purposes. That's my, that is my settings. But I have a full lesson on Fibonacci's and what each level means, where I like to accumulate, where I like to take profit, how to pull my fibs. I have a full 30-minute video on Fibonacci's and how I use them. For futures, should I do Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana? Just start with Bitcoin. If you're just starting out, just start with Bitcoin. Find your edge and just consistently trade that. Because you will start to, once you get an edge on a coin, just keep your edge. People get bored. People get bored with their system. It's not supposed to be scary and sexy, and it's not supposed to feel like dating a stripper. Okay? It should be boring. Good. Find your boring strategy and just stick with it. Find your coin that you have an edge and just trade that coin. You don't need to trade 76 different coins. XYO or GRT. XYO for sure. Where is the video? It's in my Telegram group. When do you use a trending fib versus a retracement fib? I never use a trending fib. That doesn't mean they're wrong. It's just again, I have my strategy. I stick with my strategy. I don't You guys want me to give you a secret on when you're analyzing another content creator, if they're good or not? Are they really good or are they not? Do you guys want to know? If you're watching them, let's just do a coin that no one ever asked me about, XMR. If you're watching them and then all of a sudden they start using stuff you've never seen them use before, they start using indicators that you've never seen them use before, and they just throw that in there. And then, the next day or the next week you see them and they're showing this, and you've never seen them use this before. They don't know what's going on, because you can't master your kick if you're practicing 10,000 kicks. Now, I don't even know what this indicator is. It might work wonders. But that's not my kick that I practice. And if you see somebody who's doing a bunch of different kicks and they're showing you a bunch of different stuff, but they're not really consistently doing the same thing, they are practicing 10,000 different kicks. Okay? Be wary of these individuals and their analysis as gospel. Anybody can be great at this, but not if you're practicing 10,000 different kicks. If you want to be a great kicker, you need to practice one kick 10,000 times. Okay? I only watch ski. What's going on? Full moon bullish or bearish? Crow targets. What's your one kick strategy? Right here. Bada bing, bada boom. It is simple. It is boring. Oh, reliable. Oh, reliable right here. My one kick. Right here. Wyckoff. Plus Fibonacci's. Plus retail. Sentiment. I'm a master at feeling when retail is freaking out. I'm the master bottom feeler. But Wyckoff Fibonacci's, those are my kicks. That's it. I got a kick, I got a punch, and I got a headlock. Will you be shorting altcoins at the end? Absolutely. Absolutely. Even leverage trading, Guess what? The rules are the rules. The kicks are the kicks. You're the Deshaun Watson of crypto. Bro, pause. Will you tell us when you think the altcoin up is in line or is in? I will. You guys are going to hate me for it, though. When I turn bearish, you guys are going to hate me. Can you please explain to me what's the full moon of crypto? All right. This is some woo-woo talk, David. It is something, not everything. Nothing is everything. Everything is something. Okay? All right, before we continue, we need to get rich now. Tired of having neighbors. We. There is no we, Jesse. What's your start and top indicator? Wyckoff. All right, David. Let's start here. Nothing is everything. Everything is something. Okay? This is very discretion. And before I give you this woo-woo lesson, because this is woo-woo, and people are going to accuse me of being a witch. I'm not a witch. I'm not going to read your Scorpio or your horoscope or any of that stuff. I'm not against that. I'm not against witches, all right? Whatever. If you're a witch, whatever. Burn your sage, do your stuff. I don't care. All right, let's start with this before I go any further. Money is not real. Okay? Money is not real. Okay? Let me say it again. If I tell you Bitcoin is magic internet money that is real because we agree it is real, okay, you're with me. If I say the US dollar, the euro, is magic internet money that is real because we agree that it is real, you're with me. You're not with me, but it's the same. The euro or the dollar is magic internet money that is real because we agree it is real. 98% of dollars are digital. If you book a call with me right now and send me USDC, nothing happened. If you PayPal me, nothing actually happened. But we agree the magic internet money was transferred. Okay? Money is not real. Money is energy that we are measuring. We are measuring energy. Okay? That is the basis of this. All right? So money is not real. That's phase one. All right. So here you go. What is the energy? All right? Again, I'm not a witch. I'm not reading your horoscope. I'm not going to read your palms. I'm not, none of that. Okay? I did not put this indicator on TradingView. I did not. TradingView is a multi-million-dollar company. I did not ask them to put the moon on here. It's on here. I didn't ask them to do it. All right? But what do we know? During a full moon, domestic violence goes up. Murder goes up. Road rage goes up. All kinds of crimes go up on the full moon. All right? This is a practical thing. In fact, you're here today because a farmer 10,000 years ago figured out if he planted the crops on the new moon and harvested them on the full moon, it would grow more yield. That's why we have what's called a harvest moon in August. In September, there is literally a harvest moon because a farmer 10,000 years ago figured out if he planted his crops on the new moon and harvested them on the full moon, it would grow more yield. Ask a fisherman, ask a hunter, ask a nurse, ask a police officer if they know when the full moon is. I guarantee you they do. Are they witches? No. But check it out. Not all of the time, but most of the time, the new moons are the local tops. Not every single time, but a high degree. We could see local top, 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 local top. Not always, but a high degree, plus or minus a few days, the new moons are the local tops. And not always, not on the day, not on the hour, plus or minus a few days. The energy, the window of energy. The full moons, the white ones, are the local bottoms. Local bottom, 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 local bottom. Luna went to 0 on the lunar eclipse. Local bottom, local bottom. The bottom, FTX went to 0 on the lunar eclipse, the blood moon. Silicon Valley Bank went to 0 on a full moon. The war in Israel, local bottom, local bottom. Local bottom, local bottom, local bottom. I did not put this here. Do you understand? I'm not a witch. He is a witch. No. Local bottom, local bottom, local bottom. April. There you go. I think the moon cycles were built into the algorithm. Maybe, but were they built into the Dow Jones? Even teachers, exactly. Beginners built the Ark, professionals built the Titanic, but the Titanic sunk. The Titanic sunk, the Ark did not. Who was the real beginner? He says beginners built the Ark, professionals built the Titanic. The Titanic sunk though, brother. The Ark did not. Who was the real beginner? Who was the real professional? Congratulations. You played yourself. If you can't show a P&L, don't believe them. I did. I did show P&L. Here's my P&L. I bought a farm with cash with my XRP profit. I have video of that. Of me selling XRP at $3.33 after saying for months and months and months that I was accumulating at 30 cents. That's my P&L. Where's yours? Where's your farm? See how triggered people's egos gets? I try to say a nuanced thing. I try to disclaimer. I try to preface the little lesson that I'm giving and how triggered people's egos gets because they don't want to believe that they are 80% water. The moon controls the tides, but it can't control our emotions and it can't make us fearful. It makes domestic violence go up, murder go up, but it doesn't control money. Okay. Who's talking? You or your ego? You still like ICP? Yes, I still like ICP. Jack and Rose on the Titanic. Smart money. I heard a quote that millionaires don't believe in astrology, but billionaires do. Which ski? Talk about ETH. I think ETH goes to 7,200. Projecting onto you, literally. Listen, guys, I'm as objective and practical as it can be. I don't let my ego get in the way of like. There's literal data to show this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you believe, what you don't believe. I know what I believe. Are you a Mason? No, I'm not a Mason. I'm not a Mason. When I was in the Army, almost every freaking first sergeant, almost anybody above like an E6 was like a huge portion of them were Masons. And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, bro. That ain't for me, bro. No, thank you. I'm not showing nobody my nipple. I know what y'all do, you weirdos. I'm not showing nobody my nipple. I know what they do. Look it up. Full moon Saturday. Yep, that means local bottom. Ski, when flux, it's only pop off. I can honestly say I haven't had anybody else talk about it. Good. What do? They show their nipples. They show their nipple to make sure they're not a female. All right, guys. I'm getting pretty tired. I'm pretty tired. I think I'll go home now. All right, guys. That is going to be it for this time. That's a general strategy, Timmy, or spiritual Tommy. General strategy. Just look for opportunities. I'll leave you with this before we end. I'm going to answer your question because it's a good question. Listen, the little lesson I just showed you about the moon, it's not buy here, sell here. It's look for opportunities to exit around this time. Look for opportunities. If the opportunities don't present themselves to you, it's okay. But a lot of times, scary opportunities will show up at the full moon. Not always. And euphoric opportunities will show up during the new moon. Not always. But it's not like at this hour, at this time, we're going to go long. At this hour, at this time, we're going to go short. No. Look for opportunities. Okay. Anyways. That is going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Follow me on TikTok. The moon indicator is literally called Moon Indicator. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. I will never message you first. If you want to set up a portfolio review, consultation, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram, hit me in the DMs for that. I'll be live tomorrow with Alex on TikTok, and then I will be live in the evening. Next Monday, we're going to get back on schedule for sure for realsies this time. All the house stuff is done. The house is officially listed. So all that's done. So I'm pumped for that. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first.